A CEO was making million-dollar decisions every single day, believing he controlled everything in front of him. Every contract he signed, every risk he took, every deal he approved felt like pure authority. People trusted his judgment, investors followed his lead, and the board rarely questioned him. But hidden behind that confidence was a truth that could destroy everything overnight, because the real power of the company didn't sit in front of him. It wasn't in meetings, presentations, or public headlines. It existed quietly in the shadows, watching him closely without interference. And the most dangerous part of all, that power belonged to someone he trusted like family. This wasn't just business competition or corporate rivalry. This was something deeper, something personal, something psychological. Because the man who truly owned the company was his own father-in-law, a man who built everything and wasn't ready to let go. Years ago, the company didn't exist as a powerful empire. It started from nothing, small rooms, limited money, and constant uncertainty. Every step forward came with risk, and every decision could have ended everything. But the founder never stopped pushing forward. He sacrificed everything to build it. His time disappeared, his health declined, and his relationships slowly faded into the background. But none of that mattered to him as long as the company kept growing, because for him it wasn't just business, it was his legacy. Eventually, that sacrifice paid off. The company grew into something massive, something powerful, something respected. It became an empire that carried his identity in every part of it. And that's exactly why he couldn't let it go easily, because building something from nothing creates a different kind of mindset. It makes you protective, cautious, and sometimes unable to trust anyone else. The fear of losing control becomes stronger than anything else, and that fear would soon shape everything. So one day, without warning, the founder stepped back. No announcement, no explanation, no farewell speech. Just silence that left everyone confused about what was really happening. It didn't make sense, but it wasn't supposed to. The company needed a new leader, someone to take control and move things forward. And that's when the son-in-law stepped in, confident and ready to prove himself. To everyone watching, it looked like the perfect transition. Investors supported the move, the media praised it, and the board approved it instantly. It looked like trust and confidence from the founder. A clean shift of power from one generation to the next. But in reality, nothing had changed. Because the founder never gave up control, not even a small part of it. Every share, every decision, every major move still belonged to him. It was just hidden in a way no one could see. The new CEO believed he was in charge. He walked into meetings with confidence, spoke like a leader, and made bold decisions. And for a while everything worked exactly as expected. The company grew faster than before, profits increased, deals expanded, and success seemed unstoppable. He was praised as a visionary who could take things even further. But success can hide dangerous truths, because while the world celebrated him, someone else was watching silently, observing every decision, every reaction, every mistake, not interfering, just studying him carefully. This wasn't about business performance anymore. It was about judgment, control, and behavior under pressure. The founder wasn't testing his skills, he was testing his mindset. And slowly, things started to change. Not dramatically, not suddenly, just small cracks that were easy to ignore at first. A deal that seemed perfect suddenly failed. A partner who looked reliable walked away without warning. These weren't major problems, but they were signals. The CEO didn't panic. He believed this was normal in business, that risks sometimes fail and things don't always go as planned. So he kept moving forward, took bigger risks, made faster decisions, and trusted his instincts more than ever. But confidence without awareness can become dangerous. What he didn't realize was that nothing happening was random. Every situation, every opportunity, every failure had already been planned. Then came the first major turning point. A massive opportunity appeared right in front of him, bigger than anything he had ever handled before. The numbers looked perfect. The potential reward was massive, and the risks seemed minimal. It felt like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Without hesitation, he accepted it. No deep questioning, no second thoughts, just pure confidence in his ability. But the deal wasn't real in the way he believed. It wasn't luck or timing. It was designed, carefully placed right in front of him. Within weeks, everything started going wrong. Costs increased, projections failed, and pressure began building fast. The situation quickly became unstable. Millions were lost faster than expected. Confidence started to break, and the success story began to crack. But he still believed he could fix it. What he didn't know was that someone was watching closely. Not just the results, but his reaction. And what they saw wasn't control, it was desperation. The kind that leads to even bigger mistakes. The kind that exposes true character. That's when the real truth began to reveal itself. The founder had never trusted him fully. This wasn't leadership, it was a test. A hidden system controlled everything. Ownership structures no one could trace. Influence no one could detect. Every opportunity had a purpose. Every risk had a hidden outcome. Nothing was accidental. He thought he was leading, but he was being guided the entire time, controlled without even realizing it. Then came the second shock. An internal audit started suddenly. Aggressive, detailed, and impossible to ignore. It didn't come from outside authorities. It came from inside the company, from the one person who truly had control. Panic spread quickly. The CEO tried to fix everything at once, but his decisions became faster and more dangerous. The more he tried to recover, the deeper he fell. Mistakes turned into patterns, and patterns turned into collapse. Investors noticed the instability. Confidence dropped rapidly. Trust began to disappear. Deals failed one after another. Losses increased quickly. The company started falling apart. An emergency meeting was called. The room was filled with tension and silence. No one knew what would happen next. Then the door opened slowly, and everything changed in that moment. The founder walked in, calm, silent, and no longer hidden. This time he was right in front of everyone. And his presence said everything. The CEO froze. Confusion turned into realization. And then came fear. Suddenly, everything made sense. The deals, the failures, the pressure. It was all connected. This wasn't bad luck. This wasn't coincidence. This was planned from the beginning. And in that moment, the truth became clear. He was never in control, not even for a second. The entire journey had been a test. Every decision, every risk, every outcome. And he had failed it, not because he lacked intelligence, but because he lacked judgment. He couldn't control his decisions under pressure. He chased growth without limits, took risks without understanding consequences, and that cost him everything. He lost his position as CEO, lost the trust of the board, and nearly lost his family. The company survived. Because it was never truly at risk. It was always protected. But the emotional damage remained, because this wasn't just business. It was psychological, a war between trust and control, between family and power, and only one person truly won. He thought he was building an empire, but he was actually proving he didn't deserve one. That line defines everything. Because he wasn't destroyed by competitors, he was tested by his own family, and he didn't even know it was happening, not until it was too late to change anything. So now the question isn't about him anymore. It's about anyone who believes they are in control. If you were in his place, would you see the truth? Or would you fall into the same traps? Because sometimes the biggest danger in business isn't failure. It's the illusion of control. And once you believe that illusion, you stop questioning things, you stop seeing the risks, and that's exactly when everything starts to fall apart.